So we're here with Thomas Power today, founder of Lindors.
Leadors,
sorry.
Leadors.
Excellent. Which is a new venture for yourself.
New venture.
Excellent. And you're speaking on Google Plus today. We've had a speaker on Facebook already. Is there going to be many conflicting issues or beliefs in what we can do?
Google Plus is definitely quite different to Facebook in the sense that I think it allows you to be better organised with how you work with your email, whether you're task-driven or person-driven, whereas Facebook to me is more about friends and fun. I think Google Plus is more about work and organising all your jobs, following up your right business mates and getting them all in communities and groups and clubs. To me, it's more about getting organised. It's almost like a bit of a personal productivity organisation tool.
Google Plus has been around for a little while now, and it hasn't taken off quite so quickly as, say, Facebook or LinkedIn did. Do you still think it's one that is just going to grow at a continuous rate until it gets that big, or is it going to start plateauing off?
Okay, so you're a little unfair.
No, sorry.
Google Plus is only 22 months old.
Yeah.
So in LinkedIn terms, that would be 2004.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And in Facebook terms, that would be 2006.
Okay.
So, like all these new networks, you have to give them time to settle. And you have to give people time to get used to them.
Yeah.
You know, like you want to get used to a brand or get used to a friend or get used to a husband or a wife. You know, yeah, it takes time. So I think Google Plus will hit its critical mass at the end of this decade, when it's had that 7 to 10 year cycle to be accepted. And remember, for Google themselves to get used to being social. And, you know, geeks are not generally social, are they?
Not generally.
So it's hard for Google to get used to their own product. Even internally, they struggle with it. It's not just the consumers and the business people out there. They're finding it difficult internally as well, because it's hard for an organisation to go social, even them.
Yeah. So we've heard a lot today as well about customer engagement, customer experience, different personas. Google Plus really does link in with this, with all the different circles that you can create and everything else as well. So will Google Plus, your talk, follow on these different aspects that we've found to be a hot topic today?
Yeah, the thing I've learned with Google Plus is you organise people into circles, and then the circles organise your email into those circles.
Okay.
So if you were to create, I don't know, a UK marketing network circle of, say, these followers who come to this event, you'd put them into a circle, and then they would go into their own separate email section in your Gmail.
Okay.
So then you know you could just check the email from us lot to you.
Okay.
So that's quite useful. Then you can put those people in a community and just follow what, I don't know how many people are here, 150 people, just what they're doing.
Yeah.
So you can specifically follow up this one group. Now, if you had to liaise with, as you've had to do for the last few months, you've got email all over the place, haven't you?
Yes.
And the reality is it's a jumble.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's why I think it's more about productivity and organisation, because putting all these people in a circle and in a community and then having it sorted by your email automatically saves a lot of time. Saves me a lot of time.
Yeah.
And I think you have to get used to that as an idea.
Which is what a lot of people are struggling with at the moment.
Yeah, and I think it's 22 months, you know, I've struggled to get used to it myself.
Yeah.
You know, I've had to adjust the way I work to make it work for me.
Yeah.
And I've got the time to do that, but a lot of people, you know, they get stuck in what they're using, whereas I like to try all the latest stuff to see if it can make me more productive.
Especially if you work for a company and you have to have that company's email account. You can't necessarily use Gmail for your
the
company.
Other thing is that when you're using Gmail, all the email is up there in the cloud, so it gets indexed. So it looks through all of your email, the ones you send me, or Mark sends me, or anyone in your team, and then it recommends which circle they should go in Google Plus.
Okay.
And actually recommended I create a circle around only marketing jobs, as it happened.
Yeah.
Right? And I could have just clicked a button, it would have created one just for you guys, sort of half a dozen of you.
Yeah.
You couldn't do that in Outlook.
No.
So you kind of don't know what you can do until you start using it and seeing the intelligence that they've put in the Gmail that fits with the social and starts to overlap.
Okay. See, I'm not aware of any of this either because I'm still quite new to Google Plus, and it is one of those that
Exactly, and you've got to get used
takes
to
a bit of
Google
time
Plus
and used to it.
circles. And you've got to think about people in circles, whereas you've only just got used to thinking about people in groups on LinkedIn and on Facebook. Well, a circle is the same as a group, but
It's a different name.
you can do more things with it in Plus. But even Google themselves internally, they haven't really started exploiting it themselves yet, because a lot of them are still saying, well, this is our 4th attempt at social. Are we going to get it right? Hasn't taken off straight away. Well, things don't taking off straight away. They want 1 billion people using it in 5 minutes. It's
unrealistic.
It's unrealistic. People takes people time to get used to anything and to trust something.
Yeah.
And particularly when they're overwhelmed with, they've got Twitter, they've got Facebook, they've got LinkedIn, they've got Pinterest, they've got Tumblr, and along comes another one.
Yeah.
I think, So I think you have to let it creep up on you and gradually make you more productive.